whatever thing is happening to the Boko Haram and the like is what is
particularly
an
at the federal level. It's to provide security. If you don't have security, I tell you,
that problem of education,
you cannot even walk.
we do not know who we are. Nigerians don't know who Nigerians are. And because we don't know who we are, we do not know where to go.
There's no magic in fighting crime. You have to sit down, you have to plan, you have to strategize.
Policing has gone beyond just using sheer force, carrying guns. It's even gone beyond dominating the community with human beings in uniform. It is
I've seen such qualities in certain leaders. I'll take their books and I'll read. Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Sir Ahmed Iliyasu, the Sardana of Sokoto, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. Find some great inspirations from their writings and from their deeds.
Informative, educative, and inspirational show, Chartforum Africa. With me is a special guest, but before that, my name is Priscilla Renz, and today we'll be looking at the state of security in Ogun State. And with me is no other than the Commissioner of Police in Ogun State, who is Ahmed Iliyasu.
Well, I'm CP Ahmed Iliyasu, the Commissioner of Police of Ogun State. I've been here for some time, and since we hit the ground running, we have an elaborate plan with regards to combating crime and criminality across the length and breadth of the state. We have on the ground a robust community policing which has traversed across the state. All communities are on board. We are working with various grass communities. Not only that, we have organizations, unions, professionals who are also partaking in our type of community policing. We are even what we call micro community policing units, that is micro PCRC, which are in the far-flung areas across the hinterland. We have farmers, we have hunters, we have vigilante organizations, also great collaboration with other sister security agencies. In fact, we have done a lot in terms of crime fighting. Across the state, we have tactical, we have deployments, we have covert deployments. We have put up a systematic approach to fighting crime, to technical response system, to intelligence response system, which has assisted us in tracking down so many syndicates of armed robbers, car snatchers, kidnappers, and cultists. In fact, most areas, especially Lagos Ibadan Expressway, the notorious Kara Bridge, when you move from there towards our border with Ibadan, that is Fiduo, Ogumaki, Sapadi, Onikare. When you go to the other area, you look to Asorok, J4, that is towards Ondo border. So also when you are moving towards Ilaro, we have done a lot of deployment, and we have pacified these areas. The notorious Kara, that is Long Bridge, which used to be very notorious before now, it has become pacified, and you see commuters transiting along this route without any problem.
Okay. Recently, we observed your men cracking down on criminal syndicates in the states. What can you say to that?
Well, that is our cardinal vision, to see that crime and criminality in the state is reduced to the minimal level, and we create an atmosphere of peace and security. It is only through the atmosphere of peace and security that any other activity, other social or economic activity will thrive. And if you observe, because of the remarkable peace and tranquility achieved over a period, Ogun State is now becoming an industrial hub across international investors. Both local and international investors are moving to shores of Ogun State and investing. You can see a lot of economic activities coming up along Sagamu axis, along Lagos Ibadan axis, and along Ijebode axis. It is because of the remarkable peace which we have been able to inform through fighting crime and criminality. If you can observe, there has not been any, for quite a long time, any noticeable case of kidnapping. And the most cultist gang, we have challenged them, we have dealt with them, we are taking the wars to their den where they are.
What can you say about your working together with the IGP units?
That is a very robust unit. In fact, we collaborate with them. They give us intelligence at that superlative level. They give us that intelligence. They help a lot in the areas of their activities. It is so advanced, and that knowledge, that technical knowledge, is being disseminated, is being taken down to commands, and through that methodology that is introduced, that technical or scientific method of tracking, intelligence response, and so many voice interception, a lot of criminal gangs have been cracked. A lot of criminal gangs have been put on the brink. So many of them have been arrested. So many arms and ammunition have been recovered. Recently, in the mop-up of arms and ammunition, above 3,000 arms were recovered all over the country. And in Ogun State alone, we have displayed here more than 1,000, above 1,000 arms and ammunition recovered.
So how prepared is Ogun Police to the oncoming election? How prepared are the policemen in Ogun State?
We have a template, a robust template that is working with all the available stakeholders. Not only that, we have a very good synergy with all other sister security agencies, the military, the DSS, immigration, customs, civil defense. Not even that, even the vigilante groups, and then the traditional authorities, the government. We have a forum whereby we coalesce, we come together to discuss and share intelligence and information. And generally, when the time approaches, that's what we call the joint ops room. There you find all sister agencies, which is located here in the police headquarters. We are working very hard. We are working together, and with the peace enthroned so far, I believe it's going to be. We are ready for the 2019 elections.
As a devoted Muslim and a security expert, what are your prayers and advice for your men and Ogun State's indigenes?
Well, to be frank, as we have one of the most robust community policies, our idea about community policy is very clear to everybody. We have an elaborate police community relations committee, and in that angle we find all the citizens, ranging from the unions, professionals, students, even media. Even you have the academia, they are all in this police community relations committee. We are working hand in hand with them. We are working hand in hand with all the communities. In fact, there is new confidence and trust between the police and the people of Ogun State. To that, I have to appreciate the people. We have a human-based policing system, democratic policing system. We listen, we are accessible. For that support, for that confidence the people have been giving us, we appreciate them, we thank them, and we continue with that, because ours is to change the face of policy as far as Ogun State is concerned. Secondly, the issue of human rights and rule of law, we respect that a lot. We don't allow any infraction from any angle from our men. High-handedness, we talk to our men to be civil in their approach, to engage the public. Where there's any infraction, we don't allow it to go. Our men who have infracted one way or the other, they face the administrative disciplinary procedure. So many of them have been reprimanded, so many of them have been dismissed, so many of them have been charged to court. Because we believe in the sanctity of life. We believe in the rights of persons, people, to go about to pursue their economic, social, and any other activity freely without any let and hindrance. But that should not be against the rule of law. Because we don't allow the rule of man to come in. We don't allow you to go, because where your rights end, that is where another person's right. That should not be against good public policy, good conscience, good health, and as well as the general morality of the public. If your rights do not go against that, then you are a good citizen. All law-abiding citizens will work hand in hand with them. In fact, there's a sort of new awakening, new symbiosis in terms of working together with the public. That is what we call people's policy in Ogun State.
How are you tackling the cultists terrorizing citizens in Ogun State?
We have a template which is just like a sort of a rapid response system. Embedded in that template,
like
we have not in that sense. In terms of intelligence and information gathering, okay, where you have to be proactive. You have to have a system whereby you have an advanced response system, okay, that is proactive method, whereby if there is any perceived threat in terms of any cultic activity or activities, such information used to get to us on timely basis, and we quickly move in, round them, make arrests, recover their arms. We neutralize, in short they call it, you neutralize the elements involved in these cultic activities. That we've been doing, not only in terms of cultism, in terms of kidnapping, in terms of armed robbery. We have a sort of like an alert system, advanced alert system, and that is being done through what we have been thrown in terms of community policing, human beings, human intelligence, and sometimes with advanced information and intelligence, we have what we call technical intelligence, which we decipher information. We use scientific methods to use that intelligence, technical intelligence, and nip that crime and criminality in the bud.
How does community police work?
That is the perfect modality in terms of new global modern 21st century policy. That is the only way you can succeed. You cannot do it alone. One, you have to share intelligence with other security agencies, other security agents, or I say agencies, or the people. The public are the police, and the police is the public. That is how it works in terms of equation. You cannot do it alone. Security business is the business of everybody. When you see something, say something. You raise an alarm. That is the only way you can go forward now in terms of whatever you call it, global terrorism, in terms of syndicated organized crime and some other things, or opportunistic crime.
What are you doing about people impersonating themselves to be police officers, fake police officers? What are you doing about that? How do you detect? We have
a lot of intelligence on that.
Yeah.
We know the likely places where these impersonators rear their ugly heads. So we've been arresting them, we've been prosecuting them, we've been parading them. That decimal has gone down as far as it is concerned. We have areas where we have intelligence in terms of the movement of this syndicate that impersonates, and we've been working on that. It has been very fruitful. So we've been also giving them serious challenges.
Okay, now we're almost getting to the end of today's edition, but before we do that, we have a lot of people at home. When they're faced with insecurity, how can they contact the police faster than other than coming down to
we have dedicated lines.
Yes.
All our DPOs, area commanders, we have a pamphlet, and we made them even to publish their, apart from the social media, apart from through our community policing drive, the police community relations, that engagements, we have all the numbers of our officers and men. Then we have dedicated numbers of what we call the control room.
Okay.
And that, through that, we've been getting timely information in terms of any challenge.
Okay.
When it comes to that call comes to the control room, we have some dedicated numbers. It will be quickly disseminated to all systems. Will be put on alert. When I say system, it means all the police formations, ranging from the headquarters to area commands to divisional levels and other operatives we have on the ground. We have tactical covert operatives like the men in the special units, like the anti-kidnapping and cultists, like the SARS, and we put them on the alert. So this thing has been working very well. And because of our accessibility and because of our community policing, almost all the people have my numbers.
Your
Almost,
private
yes.
number.
People have my private numbers. People call me at the will. Government officials, market women even. Look, even people in the village, farmers, hunters, they call me. They give me timely intelligence. We have some other our dedicated numbers in the Office of the Public Relations. Then we have some other operational numbers.
Okay.
Constantly from time to time we are reviewing this thing because of change. One officer will be deployed or the other.
Okay.
That has been working very well. And in fact, we have established, even from some of the media formations, they call us. We've been working very well. We have the best relationship with best relationship and best friendly media we are working with. They are part of our community policing. They are necessary tool in fighting crime.
So you're promising us a safe
What I would say,
oncoming election.
what I would say, not only election, the Eid al-Fitr, that means the Salah celebration at the corner. We have made an elaborate deployment. We have a state operation order as well as a federal operation order. We have deployed all our men across the area command, the divisional, and then from headquarters, all event centers, praying grounds, social activity centers, wherever you have gatherings of people, we have our detectives covert deployment everywhere where they can sniff around and give us information and intelligence. So also, that is also with all the other sister organizations. Well, we are telling all the citizens of the gateway states, the popular gateway states, that they will continue to sleep with their eyes closed and Pacific celebration.
Amen. Thank you so much, sir, for being a part of today's edition of Chartforum Africa. And now we've come to the end of today's edition. I hope you had fun. It was quite inspiring. You've learned one or two things on how to be secured or how to secure your neighbors, or when you hear anything that you need to alert the security personnel, you know what to do. Now we've come to the end of today's edition of Chartforum Africa. I remain your host, Priscilla Irems. I'll see you same time, same station next week. Until then, bye.
Whatever thing is happening to the Boko Haram and the like is what
particularly
is
at the
an
federal
offshoot of what
level,
happened in the
is to
ICC.
provide security.
Most
If you don't have security, I tell you,
of that problem of education.
you cannot even walk.
We do not know who we are. Nigerians don't know who Nigerians are. And because we don't know who we are, we do not know where to go.
There's no magic in fighting crime. You have to sit down, you have to plan, you have to strategize.
Policing has gone beyond just using sheer force, carrying guns. It's even gone beyond dominating the community with human beings in uniform. It is
I
more.
see such qualities in certain leaders. I'll take their books and I'll read. Sir Abubakar Balewa, Sir Ahmed Iliyasu, the Sardana of Sokoto, Chief of FM Awolowo. Find some great inspirations from their writings and